Hello and welcome to InvestorToday.ca. I'm Dave Glover. InvestorToday.ca is brought to you in conjunction with RBL Communications, your online IR professionals. We are coming to you live from the Chicago Resource Expo. It's Saturday, the 28th of April, and I am joined by Christoph Lassel, who is the President and CEO of Santa Barbara Resources, which trades on the TSX under the symbol SBL. Christoph, welcome to the show.
Hey, thank you.
Great opportunity to meet you. I understand you'll be making your presentation a little later in the day.
That's correct.
That's right. And, of course, we are going to have that presentation available on the Internet as well. For those of you that are interested, that'll be available on the Santa Barbara website. But can we discuss Santa Barbara's management, South American exploration, and the operating experience?
Yes, please. Santa Barbara has all the management with experience operating and administrating companies in South America. So the administration is done by people that have been in these jurisdictions for decades. And I may want to point out that some of our directors have been operating and exploring in South America with several companies for decades as well. Mm-hmm. So there's Carl Herring, there's Eric Edwards. They're coming from the geological sides. They have multiple mine finders. And there's myself. I'm in South America living and operating there for 23 years of my life. And it has brought me to Venezuela, Ecuador, Peru, and Chile. And over that period, I've been exploring actively in these countries, hands-on, out there. And about 6-7 years ago, I went into management of companies. I've brought some companies to other markets, and now I'm running Santa Barbara as the president.
Very good, and I'm very happy to hear that you're living there as well. So often you see these companies, especially ones that trade on the TSX, they're based out of Vancouver. You'll see their head offices in Vancouver, and quite frankly, management isn't on site.
Yes, I mean, that's very important because once you live down there, you speak the language, you understand the documents that you're negotiating and signing, and you understand the culture. It's so important that you know the culture because you also know when to go in and when to step back.
Right.
And this way you can get deals done that other companies can't have made over
right,
time.
Well, because you've built relationships with people in the area in which you're doing your exploration, so obviously that's a huge benefit. Can we talk about Santa Barbara's current share structure, maybe market capitalization, share price if you like?
Yes, of course. Santa Barbara has about 22.8 million shares outstanding. That is one of the tightest structures on the market of the TSX Venture Exchange. Our market cap is micro. We are about $5.5 to $6 million market cap, reflected by a share price of about 24 cents at the moment. However, having said that, we are probably one of the top performers on the TSX Venture Exchange, having an appreciation of about 135% year to date.
Wow.
So we had been at a low at 8 cents. We have made it up to well over 20 cents. We were over 30 cents for some times, but now that's where we're settling in, and I think we've done better than many other companies over there. So that is something that we are very happy about over the last couple of weeks at development, which responds on investors taking care of our company and recognizing the potential.
Right, and of course that's a huge bonus for investors, the share structure, especially as you said, it's a micro cap. So for folks that want to get involved and get on the ground floor, obviously SBL or Santa Barbara Resources is a great opportunity for them to get involved, especially with what you have going on in South America. Which brings me to the next question, which is what makes Chile and Peru superb mining jurisdictions?
I think over the years, Chile and Peru have put together the legal framework that fosters mining. The tax regime is on the better side of it. They certainly try to harvest as much as they can while being reasonable. So it's a well-balanced tax regime and legal framework that guarantees to the investor that they get what they're there for.
Absolutely.
That they get the chance of exploring, developing a mine, and getting the revenues out. So if you look at Peru at itself, Peru is exporting about 6% of their export is mining products, so they depend on that. They recognize it, and they create the framework in order to support it. Saying that, Peru is number 2 producer of copper head-to-head with the United States, just after Chile. They are number 2 producer for silver. They're 4 in moly, and a couple of other minor metals. They're number 1 in the world. Chile is living off their copper revenues in a large extent. So copper, they're by far the number 1 producer in the world. Number 3 in moly, number 5 in silver, and by that the countries are really large producers of commodities, and they get the terms together in order to support that industry.
Well, so you make a really good point that they're huge supporters of mining in general. It's a huge part of their GDP and obviously their export market. But, you know, one of the questions that always investors want to know about is an infrastructure. How difficult is it to get to and from your properties? Are they only available by air, or are there roads there?
Actually, both of our properties, which are Sancos in Peru and San Francisco in Chile, are drive-up properties. You can take a regular pickup, drive up there anytime in Peru, any time of the year. There's a bit of dirt road involved, but it's well maintained all year round. And in Chile, it's seasonal, it's high altitude, and in the southern hemisphere, further down the south, you can work there seasonally in the summer, but it's also drive-up. There's an international border crossing to Argentina, 10 kilometers away, where the Dakar Rally is actually taking place.
Right. Well, you make a good point about seasonality, because when you are working in those areas, you do really have to worry about what season you're in. How long is the production season down there?
Well, in our case, it's only exploration. So in Peru, we can work year-round. There's the rainy season and the dry season, which you try to avoid major attempts of exploring during the rainy season, but you can do that without any problem as well. Whereas in Chile, you have to go into the southern summer that starts in about September and it ends in about April. So you have 6 to 7 months where you can do high altitude exploration in Chile. If you're lower down, you can do it all year round.
Well, let's discuss your Sancos project. That's your Peruvian project. Describe, if you could, your first round drill results and, if you will, initial metallurgical tests, geophysical surveys that have been done defining further drill targets.
Yes, we have taken the Sancos project on in an option from Barrick Gold, where we can earn 100% interest in the project. We have done systematic work that included mapping and trenching, and based on that we have done the first round of drilling, about 4,500 meters, and we have really received outstanding results from one of the areas where we have 6 contiguous drill holes with successful drill intercepts, and there are 2 intercepts I want to highlight: 145 meters at 0.45 grams per ton gold and 94 meters at 0.47 grams per ton gold. So these are outstanding results, because nowadays mining is done, active mining, at about a cutoff grade of 0.1 gram per ton. Many mines go an average grade between 0.4 and 0.5 grams per ton. So we are right up there, and now the next rounds of drilling should prove up that with volume. So we are prepared for that. We have the drill platforms in place, and we're looking forward to finance the next round of drilling. Now, in the meantime, we have done geophysics that will prepare that round of drilling, so we know exactly where we want to drill and where the most promising target for potentially higher grade feeder zones are. Looking at the metallurgy, we have done initial tests, and we have received tests with an average over 6 samples of about 86% recovery on regular cyanide leach tests. So that's outstanding, specifically if we consider that we have a test all the way down to 232 meters depth in the hole, returning 90% recovery. So all of our deepest exposures and throughout the holes, we have everything oxidized. There's no sulfides in these successful drill holes, and they're running down to below 200 meters depth. So that's an outstanding deep oxidation zone that lend itself with the material, with the grade, for a potential heap leach operation if we get the volume together on that property in a resource.
Well, so that's the Sancos project. But how are things going at the San Francisco project? Can you describe, if you will, or maybe comment on your first round drillings at San Francisco?
Yes, San Francisco is an option that we have taken from some private landowners in the Maricunga Gold Belt. The Maricunga Gold Belt is hosting 2 operating mines by Kinross, each of them producing about 200,000 ounces gold and gold equivalent per year. Then there are huge resources up there in the belt. I make reference to Cerro Casale of Barrick and Kinross with 26 million ounces gold plus about 7 billion pounds of copper. Huge resources out there. In total, there are 90 million ounces plus minus in the district. We have picked up a huge property there, 3,740 hectares in size, where we have seen outstanding alteration, the classic banded veinlets that create all the resources in the other projects and mines, and we have done systematic work in preparation of our this year's drill program with geophysics, geochemical sampling and mapping, and we have drilled about 3,400 meters in 14 holes into that property. We have checked all the anomalies, and we are awaiting assay results. So we are very hopeful that we get some positive feedback from these results, and that, in conjunction with a future drill campaign at Sanko's, should really give us a trigger to a share price appreciation.
So it's a great opportunity for investors to get in early. As we said, the share structure is very favorable. They're great locations, Peru and Chile. We're talking to Santa Barbara. They are a gold and copper primarily, Santa Barbara Resources. I've been talking to Christoph Lassel, who is the president and CEO, and as always, I like to give the guest the last word. If you could perhaps speak directly into the camera and maybe give an investment case for those individuals who currently hold shares or are thinking about it.
Yes, thank you, Dave. I think Santa Barbara has a couple of strong points in our favor. That is strong management with South American operating experience. We're in the right jurisdiction with Chile and Peru that are mining friendly, mining favorable. They are operating mining countries producing most of the commodities that we are currently consuming. Our share capital structure is absolutely tightly held. So if we have an exploration success, then that will translate in a very strong share price appreciation, which is given by the multiplier of our outstanding shares. So I think that is an opportunity for the investor to come in and support Santa Barbara in these times.
So once again, the company is Santa Barbara Resources, trading on the TSX under the symbol SBL. I've been talking to Christoph Lassel, President and CEO. I want to thank you for being here, Christoph. Great time to meet you. I hope your presentation goes fabulous this afternoon. And thank you for tuning in to InvestorToday.ca. I'm Dave Glover. We'll see you next time.